Hare Krishna, Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So last time we had completed 29 verses, right? 29th one.
Yes, Mataji. We
Yes,
start with 30th.
We'll start with 30th. Okay. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehi sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani na tvam shochitum arhasi. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehi sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani na tvam shochitum arhasi. Sujata Mataji, do you want to repeat this verse?
Yes, Mataji. Dehi nityam vadyoham dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat swarnani tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochituma arhasi. Should I read the translation?
Yes,
Mataji?
Yes.
O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. The Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul. In describing the immortal souls in various ways, Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher, Bhishma and Drona, will die in the battle. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body. Not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord and not capriciously.
Yeah, so there are two things which is important in this verse. So this this verse is a conclusion on the topic of soul and body. Basically, when Lord Krishna started speaking, तो उन्होंने soul और body के ऊपर instruction देना शुरू किया, right? That he told Arjun that you're not the body but you're the soul, and soul के ऊपर कितने सारे verses उन्होंने कहे that the soul is immutable, it is immeasurable, it is indescribable, it never takes birth, never dies, and that the body is temporary, it is and for the body there is always an end, there is a beginning and there is an end. So many verses he explained on it, and now he's concluding that he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. तो भगवान कह रहे अर्जुन को जो सोल है जो बॉडी में रहता है वो कभी मरता नहीं. Nobody can kill the soul, and therefore you must not grieve for any living being. तुम्हें you should not be sad, you should not be morose for anybody, even if somebody may appear to die. It is just the body which is coming to an end, which is dying, which is inevitable. Body ka mrityu, body ka marna is इनएविटेबल, कोई उस चीज को रोक नहीं सकता, और सोल को कोई मार नहीं सकता। सोल जो है, आत्मा जो है, उसका जर्नी आगे चलता रहेगा, इट विल गो ऑन। सो वी शुड इन सच केसेस वी शुड नॉट
पता नहीं थे, अभी भी बेसिक्स नहीं पता।
lament, right? So, and then he tells that and then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that just because even if we may not be able to comprehend about the soul and matter for in at this point of time, हमें भले वो पता न चले कि कैसे soul अलग है, body अलग है, we may not be able to realize this, we may not be able to truly experience this, but just because Krishna is saying that there we are spirit souls and we are something separate from the body, we should accept it on the authority of Krishna, because Krishna is saying we must accept it. Okay, so this is very important thing, that on the authority of Shri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body. तो भले ही हमें अभी वो realization नहीं हुआ है, हमने soul को देखा नहीं है, फिर भी just because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we must accept that yes, we are spirit souls and we are something separate from the body. And then second point mentioned here is कि just because we are spirit souls, so उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम किसी को भी मार सकते हैं, right? The soul never dies and there is no death for the soul. So ऐसा नहीं कि हम किसी को भी मार के बोल सकते हैं कि मैंने तो किसी को मारा ही नहीं, because the soul never dies. No, we cannot say that. At the same time, if there is a war for dharma, धर्म के लिए अगर कहीं पर war जरूरी है, तो वहां पर हमें especially for the Kshatriyas, it's their duty to fight in the war for dharma. तो उस समय उन लोगों को they should not give up their duty also. So both are important. एक तो first thing is understanding that we are spirit souls and not the body. Just because Krishna is saying that, we must accept it theoretically for now. And secondly, that violence is not encouraged. Krishna doesn't encourage violence here. But when it is the need to fight in a war of dharma, and war matlab kya, jab war bhi wo which is justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord. जिस वॉर को भगवान खुद कहते हैं कि हाँ ये वॉर होना चाहिए, because all the adharmic people are there and they need to be killed. So in such a war, the Kshatriyas, the pious people or the devotees should not hesitate to kill the adharmic people if it is sanctioned by the Lord. Okay, तो जब वॉर की बात हो रही है, तो वॉर मतलब जो हम आज कलयुग में जो वॉर होता है, people are fighting with each other just for the land or some property or some country, so that is not real war, that is out of hatred. The war that here Lord Krishna is speaking about is, or Srila Prabhupada is speaking about, is the war of dharma, where all adharmic people needs to be killed, and it is a sanction of the Lord that war should happen. तो जो कुरुक्षेत्र का war है वो hatred वाला war नहीं है, कि it is not simply based on hatred or anything, or just because somebody wants to overpower the other party. No, it's a war because Lord Krishna wants to remove all adharmic people from this world, and that's the reason why he comes time to time, na paritranaya sadhuna विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम. भगवान का आने का, आविर्भाव होने का वो एक कारण है कि भगवान आते हैं तो सारे दुष्टों का विनाश करने के लिए आते हैं, because he doesn't want them to rule the world and mislead the general people. Yeah, so these are the 2 points mentioned in this verse, that this verse is the it's a conclusion of the chapter of instruction on immutable spirit soul. So भगवान अलग अलग तरीके से अर्जुन को समझाते हैं. शुरू में तो सोल के बारे में ही बताते हैं, सोल का पूरा नॉलेज देते हैं कि हाउ वी आर स्पिरिट सोल्स एंड नॉट द बॉडी. फिर जब देखते हैं कि अर्जुन को अभी भी समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो उन्होंने वॉइडिज्म वाला भी थियरी बताया कि ठीक है, अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि तुम सोल नहीं हो और जस्ट एक केमिकल कॉम्बिनेशन हो, then also you did not worry, because अगर हम सिर्फ chemical combination है, तो अभी हम we are present right now. Before this we were not present. We were like just some chemical molecules, and after disintegration again we will become some chemical molecules, और उसके बाद फिर से we will together, come together and take some form. So what is the question of getting morose or becoming sad? So in that case, in any case, you should do your duty.
Mataji,
then-
the law of conservation of energy wala point बहुत ही apt है for this, the way it's mentioned in verse 28.
Yes. But the thing is, law of conservation of energy is there, but the soul is also there, and soul is also an energy of Lord Krishna. The thing is, the scientists, they believe only in matter. They don't understand the spirit. And in order to understand the spirit, we need to follow a process. तो भगवान कृष्ण ने दोनों तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किया. पहले तो सोल के बारे में बताया, वो नहीं समझ आया जब उनको लगा अर्जुन इज नॉट केपेबल राइट नाउ, इज नॉट रियली इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट वी आर स्पिरिट सोल्स. तो उन्होंने मैटर के बारे में, जस्ट द लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी इन टर्म्स ऑफ मटेरियल साइंस के बारे में को लेकर उन्होंने समझाया कि इवन दो इफ यू फील दैट वी आर मैटर, स्टिल एनर्जी इज ऑलवेज कंजर्व्ड. इसके पहले भी हम we were like just molecules, abhi we have taken a form, again molecule बनेंगे and again form ले लेंगे, then also there's nothing to limit because कुछ loss नहीं होगा. It's just disintegration and then again taking form. Yes, but then after speaking that, again he reconfirms that Arjun, we are spirit souls, we are not this body. So वो खाली एक explanation देने के लिए भगवान ने बीच में एक ऐसा बता दिया, but still that is not the real theory. The real theory is that we are spirit souls, and law of conservation is also true, but we are not the matter, we are spirit souls. That we need to understand. Yes, so we will go ahead. Text 31. Swadharmamapi chaveksha. Someone can repeat, maybe Anuradha Mataji, आपको repeat करना है ये verse?
Yes, Mataji. Swadharmam api chaviksha.
Na vikampitum arhasi.
Na vikampitum arhasi.
Dharmyadhi yuddha shreyonyat.
Dharmyadhi yuddhe cheryonyat.
Kshatriyasya na vidyate.
क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते. एक सेकंड माताजी, मैं अपना बुक ओपन करती हूँ.
हाँ.
एक्चुअली मैंने अभी ज्वाइन किया, आई वाज आउट.
अच्छा.
एक सेकंड.
Someone else can read this verse then?
एक सेकंड, 10 माताजी हो जाएगा.
हाँ,
31.
okay, no problem.
31. Yes. Swadharmam, one's own religion principle, api also, cha indeed, aviksha, considering, na never, vikampitum, to hesitate, arhasi, you deserve, dharmyat, for religious principle, he indeed, yuddhat, then fighting, shreya, better engagement, anyat, any other. Kshatriyasya, of the Kshatriya, na does not. Vidyate, exist. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principle, and so there is no need for hesitation. Karu Mataji, आगे read.
हाँ.
Out of the 4 order of social administration, the second order, for the matter of good administration, is called Kshatriya. Kshat means hurt. One who gives protection from harm is called Kshatriya. The Kshatriyas are trained for killing in the forest. A Kshatriya would go into the forest and challenge a tiger face to face and fight with the tiger with his sword. When the tiger was killed, it would be offered the royal order of cremation. This system has been followed even up to the present day by the Kshatriya king of Jaipur state. The Kshatriyas are specially trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. Therefore, Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyasa or renunciation. Non-violence in politics may be a diplomacy, but it is never a factor or principle in the religious law book. It is stated. Ahava, ahaveshu mittu nanyo nayano mam.
One second, can I read?
Mataji.
Ahaveshu mithonyonyam
Ahaveshu mittu nyonam
jigham shanto mahishitaha
jighamansto mahishita
yuddhamanaha param shaktya
युद्धमाना परम शक्तया
swargam yantya paranmukhaha
सर्गम यान्तः अपरान् मुखा
yagneshu pashavo brahman
यज्ञेषु पशवो ब्रह्मन्
hanyante satatam dvijaihi
हन्यतं सततं द्विजेः
संस्कृताः किल मन्त्रैश्च
संकृताः किले मन्त्रश्च
ते अपि स्वर्गमवाप्नुवन्
तेऽपि स्वर्गम् अपानुवन्. In the battlefield, a king or kshatriya, while fighting another king envious of him, is eligible for achieving the heavenly planets after death, as the Brahmanas also attain the heavenly planet by sacrificing animals in the sacrificial fire. Therefore, killing on the battlefield on religious principle and killing animals in the sacrificial fire are not at all considered to be act of violence because everyone is benefited by the religious principle involved. The animal sacrifice gets a human life immediately without undergoing the gradual evolutionary process from one form to another. And the Kshatriyas killed on the battlefield also attain the heavenly planets, as do the Brahmanas who attain them by offering sacrifice. There are two kinds of swadharmas.
one second, we'll stop here once a minute.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so before this, Lord Krishna was trying to explain Arjun that Arjun, you are a spirit soul, not the body. As a spirit soul, your duty is to listen to whom? अगर हम आत्मा हैं, तो हमारा पहला धर्म क्या है? परमात्मा, भगवान के इंस्ट्रक्शन को फॉलो करना, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
आत्मा जो है भगवान का अंश है. Krishna is a supreme spirit soul. We are his part and parcel. So, as a spirit soul, our first duty is to follow the orders of the Supreme Lord. तो पहले तो भगवान ने डायरेक्टली अर्जुन को समझाने की कोशिश की, अर्जुन, that you are the spirit soul, so you must follow my order, Arjun. If I am telling you to fight, you should simply fight. Okay, so you should not think about or you should not lament about the other things because that's my order, that's Krishna's order. So ये जो है ये first instruction है कृष्ण जी का. लेकिन when Arjun was not really in a state to accept this statement at this point of time, then Krishna goes to next level where he is going to explain कि okay ठीक है, अगर तुम now like Krishna could realize कि अर्जुन जो है अभी bodily concept में बहुत ज्यादा immersed है. He's identifying himself with the body. He's thinking he's the body and he's a Kshatriya and etc. So then Krishna starts explaining him in terms of swadharma. Okay, तो हमारे धर्म दो हैं, सनातन धर्म और स्वधर्म. What is Sanatan Dharma?
Anything related to the spiritual world, Mataji? Another
Related, so the
The
dharma
humans and
related to the soul.
soul.
One second. So dharma which is related to the soul. And who are we? We are soul, right? तो हमारा जो first धर्म है, so basically dharma is of two types. One which is related to soul, which is related to body. And our real identity is what?
Soul.
Yeah, we are spirit souls. Always remember this. So our primary dharma is this first one. Now, unless and until we have realized this, we also have to perform the secondary dharma, which is related to the body. Okay, so the soul के related जो धर्म है उसको सनातन धर्म कहते हैं. And Sanatan Dharma is nothing but service to Lord Krishna. Also known as devotional service. और devotional service का दूसरा नाम क्या है?
Bhakti.
Yes, Bhakti Yoga. Okay, one second. Devotional service is also known as Bhakti Yoga. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or and this dharma which is related to body is also known as Swadharma,
Swadharma.
meaning occupational duty. And Swadharma is further divided into Varnashram Dharma. Swadharma is nothing but Varnashram Dharma. So it depends on which Varna and which ashram we belong to. Varna and ashram. Varna कितने तरीके के हैं?
4 types.
Does anyone know that? Which one?
Brahman.
Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra.
Yes. Yes, these are 4 Varnas. Brahman, second is Kshatriya, third is Vaishya,
And Shudra.
fourth is Shudra. Ashram is, one is Brahmacharya,
Brahmacharya, Grihastha.
Brahmachari ashram. Second is Grihastha ashram.
Anpastha and sannyas.
Yes, third is Vanaprastha. Fourth is Sannyas.
Sannyas.
तो सबसे पहला धर्म भगवान ने कौन सा इंपॉर्टेंट बताया? अर्जुन को सबसे पहला धर्म कौन सा एक्सप्लेन किया? सनातन धर्म. First he tried to convince Arjun to fight based on Sanatan Dharma. That Arjun, this is my order, you should fight. This is your service to me. Okay, so our service to Krishna is our first, primary and most important dharma. But as अभी ये चीज को realize करने के लिए भी, you know, that we are spirit souls and we are part and parcel of Krishna and we have to serve Krishna. तो उसको realize करने मतलब ये in order to serve Krishna we right now we are in the material body, right? We are, although we are spirit souls, but right now we are bound by the material body. We are in a material body. तो हमें material platform पे भी हमारा जो धर्म है, that is स्वधर्म, वो भी करना important है. And if we follow our swadharma according to religious principle, then we can slowly and gradually progress and make spiritual progress also. We will be able to realize our true identity as a spirit soul also. तो इसीलिए स्वधर्म करना भी बहुत important है. So understanding which varna and which ashram we belong to. Okay, whether we belong to Brahman varna, then we ब्राह्मणों का अपना ड्यूटीज है, क्षत्रियों का अपना ड्यूटीज है, वैश्य का अपना ड्यूटी है, शूद्र का अपना ड्यूटी है. तो बॉडीली लेवल पे सबको अपना अपना ड्यूटी करना चाहिए. ब्रह्मचारियों का अपना ड्यूटी है, गृहस्थों का अपना ड्यूटी है, वानप्रस्थ का अलग ड्यूटी है, एंड संन्यास का अलग ड्यूटी है. So one has to also identify which varna and ashram we belong to. One has to perform that duty as well as the spiritual duty, that is service to Krishna. Okay, so then it is explained that how, for a brahmana, just as for a brahmana, religious principle क्या है ब्राह्मणों का? So one is reading scriptures. Okay, this is their duty as a brahmana. They read scriptures, they know in and out of all the scriptures.
Teaching
And they are the
scriptures.
ones,
Teaching also.
and they are the ones, they are the ones who teach it to the other varna. जैसे क्षत्रिय, वैश्य, शूद्र और गृहस्थों को टाइम नहीं है स्क्रिप्चर्स रीड करने के लिए ज्यादा, तो ब्राह्मण लोगों का ये ड्यूटी है कि वो उनको सिखाएं, वो उनको बताएं पढ़कर. So that is the duty of Brahman. And second duty of Brahmanas were to perform sacrifices, right?
Yajnas.
So in Vedic literatures, there are animal sacrifices also mentioned, right? So previously they used to do such animal sacrifices. लेकिन ये animal sacrifices, if it is done according to the religious principle, according to the shastra, then what happens कि जो animal जिसको sacrifice किया जा रहा है यज्ञ में, उसको भी स्वर्गलोक मिलता था, या उसको भी अगला जन्म जो है एक मनुष्य का शरीर मिलता था. तो इसमें वो एनिमल का कोई हानि नहीं हो रहा है, बल्कि उसको वो जो आत्मा है उसको उसका भला ही हो रहा है, because he is getting a human body next life, or he will get heavenly planet. The soul will go to the heavenly planet. So there was no loss in such religious principles, animal sacrifices done according to religious principles. Okay. Now similarly for Kshatriyas, it is, what is the duty? क्षत्रिय मतलब सबसे पहले फर्स्ट फ्यू लाइंस में बताया गया है. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ क्षत्रिय?
Give protection.
Trained for
From
injury.
To give protection,
from harm.
to protect from hurt or injury. मतलब क्षत्रियस आर द लीडर्स ऑफ द सोसाइटी, राइट? तो पहले के जो राजा थे, आज के जो लीडर्स हैं, they all come in the kshatriya group actually. So they give protection to the citizens. So for that they need to first practice fighting, right? Otherwise how can they fight in the war? So इसीलिए for kshatriyas it is allowed that they can go to the forest and they can hunt. Okay, so hunting was allowed for kshatriyas because that was like a practice for them, killing animals and then practicing how to use the weapons, so that when the time need is there, then they can easily participate in that war and protect the citizens. और उस hunting में भी जो animal का death होता था, जिस animal को लोग मारते थे, उनको वो लोग बहुत रॉयल तरीके से उनका क्रिमेशन भी करते थे, अंतिम संस्कार भी किया जाता था उस एनिमल का. तो उस एनिमल का भी कोई हानि नहीं होता था. That animal also used to get a better body next life. So like this, if any duty is done according to religious principle, it is not a sin. लेकिन अगर सपोज कोई क्षत्रिय नहीं है, कोई शूद्र है, और वो शूद्र खाली एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए या उसके खुशी के लिए या जस्ट बिकॉज उसका मन कर रहा है, इसीलिए वो जाके एनिमल को मार रहा है, then it is a sin for the shudra. Are you getting it? What is sin for one varna or ashram is not a sin for the other ashram, other varna or the ashram.
Yes, mother.
So this sin and pious thing is not black and white. It is Yes. So this is what is explained till here कि क्षत्रियों का एक अपना specific duty होता है, and just like how the brahmanas have their duty, and if they perform their duty on the religious principles, it is even the brahmanas, they attain the heavenly planet. और क्षत्रियों के लिए भी, जो क्षत्रिय religious principle के लिए या धर्म के लिए जो लड़ाई करते हैं, और उस लड़ाई में अगर वो किसी को मारते भी हैं, दूसरे राजा को, या he wins, even if he dies in the war, that king will attain heavenly planet. So even if we follow our swadharma very nicely according to religious principle, we will make further progress. So this is a second approach that Lord Krishna is taking in order to explain Arjuna or convince him that why fighting is, he needs to fight the war. क्योंकि अगर वो सिर्फ सनातन धर्म को अगर समझे, तो it is Krishna's order, so he should simply obey Krishna's order, because we are all servant of Krishna, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. So whatever Krishna says, that is dharma. If Krishna says fight, we should fight. So वहां पे तो खत्म हो जाता है बात, actually उसके beyond कुछ है नहीं. If Krishna is telling us to do something, we should do that. It is our duty to do that. But because when Lord Krishna saw that Arjun is still not in that spiritual consciousness, he still has a material consciousness. Abhi bhi wo apne aap ko samajh raha hai ki I am the body. Then Krishna starts explaining that even if you think you are the body, still as a Kshatriya, this is your duty. Even if you fight, thinking that you are a Kshatriya, this is the right cause for you to fight, because this is a fight for dharma. धर्म के लिए जो राजा लड़ाई करता है, अगर वो उस लड़ाई में मर भी जाता है, suppose, if he wins the war, then nothing like it, he is the winner, he will get the kingdom to enjoy. And even if he loses, suppose even if he dies in the war, he will get the heavenly planet. So in any case, there was no loss for Arjuna, and there was every reason for him to fight the war. So this is how Lord Krishna is trying to explain Arjuna. So let's go ahead. There are two kinds of swadharmas. Yes, Mataji, you'll read.
Okay, Mati. There are two kinds of swadharmas, specific duties, as long as one is not liberated. One has to perform the duties of his particular body in accordance with religious principles in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's swadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. In the bodily conception of life, there are specific duties for the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas respectively, and such duties are unavoidable. Swadharma is obtained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in the fourth chapter. On the bodily plane, Swadharma is called Varnashrama Dharma, or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma, or specific duty in terms of the specific mode of nature of the body obtained. This discharging one's specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the order of higher authorities serves to elevate one to higher status of life.
Yeah. So Lord Krishna is explaining about the Swadharma, जो हमने already discuss कर लिया है. Swadharma is according to the nature of the body that we have attained, right? So Swadharma is not according to the birth, जो हमने अभी देखा कि 4 वर्ण 4 आश्रम हैं. तो जो 4 वर्ण है, ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य शूद्र, ये हमारे जन्म से नहीं होता है, बल्कि गुणों से पहचाने जाते हैं. right? So suppose a child is born in a Brahmana's family, but he does not have the qualities of a Brahmana. अगर उसके child में वो ब्राह्मण का quality नहीं है बल्कि एक शूद्र का quality है, तो वो ब्राह्मण नहीं बल्कि शूद्र कहलाएगा, right? So it depends on the qualities that we have. We are called either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. It is not according to birth. Okay, that is one thing that we need to understand. And secondly, human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma. So this Varnashram Dharma is established by the Lord himself. ये कोई मनुष्य ने नहीं बनाया है, इसलिए हमें इसको follow करना चाहिए. वर्ण और आश्रम का जो duties है, it is created by the Lord. और ये क्यों भगवान ने बनाया है? So that there is proper management in the society. You know, everybody does their duty, and so the society runs very smoothly. So human civilization begins from Varnashram, following the Varnashram system. जब तक हम वर्णाश्रम सिस्टम को फॉलो नहीं करते तब तक हम एक्चुअली ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन कहलाते ही नहीं है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे अभी ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम है एक है, एंड नेक्स्ट इज गृहस्थ आश्रम. तो अगर कोई ब्रह्मचारी नहीं रहना चाहता, ही कैन एंटर इनटू गृहस्थ आश्रम, दैट इज अलाउड. लेकिन आजकल क्या हो रहा है, लोग गृहस्थ आश्रम में भी एंटर नहीं करना चाहते बिकॉज पीपल डोंट वांट टू टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बट एट द सेम टाइम दे आर नॉट लाइक strict brahmachari. They may be having multiple relationships. They are having live-in relationships, but they don't want to get married. They don't want to take responsibilities. So this is acting out of वर्णाश्रम सिस्टम. क्योंकि ये ब्रह्मचारी और गृहस्थ के बीच में कोई और आश्रम है नहीं. तो आजकल जो लोग फॉलो कर रहे हैं कि आई डोंट वांट टू गेट मैरिड बट आई एम ओके विद लिव इन रिलेशनशिप, दैट इज नॉट एक्चुअली एनी following any varnashram system. So that is a sin actually. So either one can be a brahmachari, that okay, if I don't want to get married, I will stay brahmachari throughout my life. That is a different thing. So that is also allowed. कि अगर किसी को सिर्फ ब्रह्मचारी रहना है, then that person should follow the brahmachari ashram ka duties. But if someone wants to get married, then he should enter grihastha ashram and follow, or he should do the duties of the grihastha ashram. इन दोनों के बीच का कोई नहीं है. लेकिन कलयुग में we see that people are neither strict brahmacharis nor they are entering into grihastha ashram. So they are not actually even humans. Human civilization begins from the stage of varnashram dharma. Okay, so yeah. And then it is mentioned that discharging one's specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the orders of higher authorities serves to elevate one to a higher status of life. तो जब हम अपने अपने वर्ण और आश्रम के हिसाब से अपना ड्यूटीज बहुत अच्छे से करते हैं, तो उसका रिजल्ट क्या होता है? We attain a higher status of life. We elevate ourselves. We are in a higher journey of our life. हम डिग्रेड नहीं होते. अदरवाइज देयर इज एवरी चांस कि ह्यूमन लाइफ मिलने के बाद भी हम ऐसे कर्म करें कि हम अगला जन्म हमें जानवर या पेड़ पौधे का मिल सकता है. तो दैट इज लाइक डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ लाइफ. लेकिन अगर मनुष्य के शरीर में रहते हुए हमने अपने ड्यूटीज को अच्छे से निभाया, स्वधर्म को और सनातन धर्म, बोथ आइडियली तो दोनों ही करना चाहिए फॉर स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस. But even if somebody does his swadharma only very nicely, he will still have a higher status of life. He will progress further. At least he will not degrade himself to animal or plant body. He will have a higher, like better body, like either a human body again next life or a demigod body. He will go to the higher planets, heavenly planet, right? So this is how important it is to follow our duty, to do our specific duties. Okay, किसी का कोई question है? Any question on these two verses?
No, Mataji.
Okay, so we go ahead. Verse number 32. Leena Mataji, you want to repeat this verse?
Yeah, I can.
यद्रच्छया चोपपन्नम
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नम
स्वर्गद्वारम् अपावृतम्
स्वर्गद्वारम् अपावृतम्
खीनः क्षत्रियः पार्थ
सुखिनः क्षत्रियः पार्थ
लभन्ते युद्धमिदृशम्
लभन्ते युद्धम् अदृश्यम् यदृच्छया by its own accord cha also upapanam arrived at Swarga of the heavenly planets dwaram door apavratam wide open sukhinah very happy kshatriyah members of the royal order partha host son of pritha labhante to achieve yuddham war idrisham like this. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Purport 1 minute. As supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell. Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty. For a Kshatriya to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is a philosophy of fools. In the Parashara Smriti or religious codes made by Parashara, the great sage and the father of Vyasadeva, it is stated, Kshatriyo hi praja rakshan shastra panihi pradandayan nirjitya paras Sanyadi Kshitim Dharmena Palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties, and for that reason he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus with religious principles he should rule over the world. Considering all... Yeah.
So Krishna is telling Arjuna, no Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. तो सोचो अगर हमारा कोई ड्यूटी है, अगर हमने कोई for example for the Kshatriyas it is mentioned कि अगर वो उनके कोई religious war में they give up their body, they die, they will get heavenly planet, they will get to enjoy in the heavenly planet. So which is better, this earthly planet is better or the heavenly planet is better? Actually heavenly planet is much more, there is only enjoyment over there. So naturally heavenly planet से better है कि earthly planet से better है कि heavenly planet में रहो, है ना? तो अगर कोई क्षत्रिय को ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है कि उसके सामने वॉर करने का उसको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रहा है, अपने सिटीजन्स के लिए, धर्म की रक्षा करने के लिए ये वॉर उसको लड़ाई करना पड़ रहा है, तो उस वक्त उसको ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि अरे मैं कितना पाप कर रहा हूँ, मैं कितने लोगों को मार रहा हूँ. ये तो नेचुरली आ रहा है और ये उसका धर्म है कि धर्म की रक्षा करने के लिए उसको लड़ाई करना है. So at that time he should not become non-violent, he should not become a saintly person, but he should think this is my duty and this is, I am so fortunate कि मुझे मेरा ड्यूटी करने मिल रहा है और इस ये ड्यूटी करने के बाद आई एम गोइंग टू एंजॉय एनीवेज. अगर जीत गया तो भी वो उसका नाम होगा कि he won the war. अगर वो हार भी गया, मर भी जाता है तो भी he will get the heavenly planet. So a Kshatriya should not lament. I mean, मतलब basically he should be very happy if he is getting such an opportunity. और अर्जुन उसी सिचुएशन में है, अर्जुन के पास ये अपॉर्चुनिटी सामने खड़ा है. He has to fight for dharma. But Arjun is acting like a saintly person. He's saying, no, I don't want to fight. I will cause so much sin. So this was not really, intelligent on part of Arjun. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. According to your duty as a Kshatriya, you should still be very happy that you're getting this opportunity. And you will go to heavenly planet even if you die. So basically यहाँ पे एक पैराग्राफ है, second last paragraph अगर आप पढ़ोगे तो the Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties And for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. तो एक क्षत्रिय का ड्यूटी है कि वो अपने प्रजा का रक्षा करे, उनको कठिनाइयों से बचाए, और उसके लिए उसको वायलेंस कभी कभी अप्लाई करना पड़ता है, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, नॉट जस्ट whimsically, नहीं कि मेरा मन कर रहा है जब मन किया तब लड़ाई शुरू कर दे किसी के साथ भी, नहीं, अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, in suitable cases he has to apply violence, and that violence is good for that kshatriya. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus with religious principles he should rule over the world. तो इस तरह से वो जो उसके एनिमी हैं, जो जो अधर्मी राजा हैं, उनके सारे सोल्जर्स को, सैनिकों को कब्जा कर लेना चाहिए, और फिर उसको रिलीजियस प्रिंसिपल के हिसाब से रूल करना चाहिए अपने किंगडम को. So that's the duty of a kshatriya. Yes, we can continue, Manasi.
Considering all aspects, Arjuna had no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and if he should die in the battle, he would be elevated to the heavenly planets, whose doors were wide open to him. Fighting would be for his benefit in either case.
Yeah, so everyone got it? So Krishna is saying, Arjun, in either case, you are the winner. You will win the case. Whether you win or you die, you are still the winner. So you should fight. Okay, so we go to the next verse, text 33. Alka Mataji, you want to read this verse?
Which one? 34?
33. You can repeat after me.
Mhm.
Atha chetvam imam dharmyam.
Atha chetvam dharmam
Imam dharmyam.
imam dharmya
Sangramam na karishyasi.
sangramam na karishyasi
Tatah swadharmam kirtim cha.
tatha swadham kirti cha
Hitva papam avapsasi.
hitva papam vapasasi avapsasi. So, translation:
Yes.
if, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. Purport: Arjuna was a famous fighter, and he attained fame by fighting many great demigods, including even Lord Shiva. After fighting and defeating Lord Shiva in a dress of a hunter, Arjuna pleased the Lord and received as a reward a weapon called Pashupat Astra. Everyone knew that he was a great warrior. Even Dronacharya gave him benediction and awarded him the special weapon by which he could kill even his teacher. So he was credited with so many military certificates from many authorities, including his adopted father Indra, the heavenly king. But he abandoned the battle. Not only would he neglect his specific duty as a Kshatriya, but he would lose all his fame and good name and thus prepare his royal road to hell. In other words, he would go to hell and not by fighting, but by withdrawing from battle.
This is a very interesting verse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Arjun
So he
was
got-
thinking.
He got many certificates for that. Before he got many
Yes.
certificates.
Yes.
Mhm.
So many blessings. Lord Shiva gave him his blessings. He gave him his Pashupat Astra. Then Indra, who was the father of Arjun, he gave him some Astra and some blessings for the war. And then who else gave him blessings? Dronacharya, who was his teacher. He also gave him a weapon that would kill his own teacher. That means that would kill Dronacharya himself. So Arjun was blessed in every way. Okay, and yet now he is saying that I don't want to fight the war. And what is Lord Krishna saying? That अर्जुन का जो ये कहना था ना कि मैं बहुत पाप करूंगा अगर मैं ये वॉर में मैंने फाइटिंग किया तो इतने लोगों को मार के मैं पाप करूंगा। तो भगवान यहाँ पे वो बताते हैं रियल थिंग कि तुम अपना ड्यूटी न करके पाप करोगे, ना कि तुम लोगों को मार के पाप करोगे। तो बेसिकली अर्जुन ये सोच रहा था कि मैं लोगों को मार के पाप करूंगा, लेकिन वो उसका पाप नहीं होता, बिकॉज एज अ क्षत्रिय वो उसका ड्यूटी है, तो वो पाप नहीं कहलाएगा मारना। लेकिन अगर वो अपना ड्यूटी नहीं करता है, देन वो he is incurring sin by not fighting the war, because as a kshatriya that is his duty. So are you get, like, this is a very important point to understand, that not doing our specific duty is actually a sin. So sin is not black and white कि ये पाप है ये पुण्य है। जैसे इन जनरल एक स्क्रिप्चर्स का जो स्टेटमेंट है कि वी शुड प्रैक्टिस नॉन वायलेंस, यस वी मस्ट प्रैक्टिस नॉन वायलेंस, लेकिन एक क्षत्रिय के लिए टू फाइट फॉर द राइट कॉज according to the religious principle, even if there is a violence, it is his duty and he should do it. And if he doesn't do the violence at that time, then that is a sin for a kshatriya. So that is why reading the scriptures, understanding the scriptures, understanding which varna and ashram we belong to, हमारा क्या ड्यूटी है, वो समझना बहुत जरूरी है। अदरवाइज सब लोग जो कहते हैं ना कि हाँ कर्म करो, बस अपना कर्म करो, लेकिन जब तक आप अपने वर्णाश्रम धर्म को नहीं समझोगे तब तक आप कैसे कर्म करोगे, right? If I do not understand which varna and ashram I belong to, how will I do my particular duty? And if I fail to do that duty, then I'm committing sin. So that's how important it is to read the scriptures and understand the scriptures, and understand what are the religious duties, what are the specific duties of each varna and ashram, and act accordingly. Yeah. So Krishna says that if you do not fight in this war, you will only attract infamy. People will talk ill about you. सब लोग तुम्हें कायर बोलेंगे कि तुम एक कायर राजा हो, तुमने लड़ाई नहीं किया, तुमने अपने प्रजा की रक्षा नहीं की, तुमने धर्म के लिए लड़ाई नहीं किया. So that is much more dishonor for you than anything else. So that is the next verse that Krishna says. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. So we'll just read this last verse. I will only read this. If anyone wants, Swati, you want to repeat?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So last verse will be this. Akirtim chapi bhutani.
Akirtim chapi bhutani.
Karthashanti te avyayam.
Kathiyanshanti te avyayam.
Sambhavitasya chakritir.
Sambhavitasya chakirtim.
Moranad atirichyate.
Maranaditi drichyate. Akirtim, infamy. Cha, also, api, over and above. Bhutani, all people. Katha Ishanti will speak, they of you. Avyayam, forever. Sambhavistasya, for a respectable man. Cha, also. Akirtita, ill fame.
Maranat.
Marnat, then death. Atirichyate, becomes more. People will always speak of you, your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Purport. Both as friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. The Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you a coward. And if you think that people may call you bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you would do better to die in the battle. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for fear of your life. Better to die in the battle. That will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So the final judgment of Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battlefield and not withdraw.
What is Krishna saying? So he's giving this.
Better to die in the battlefield with
Than to
honor
leave
rather
the-
than fleeing and like a
fleeing
coward.
the battle.
Yeah, why?
But-
Because Arjuna is from a very respectable parentage, ना? अर्जुन जिस पेरेंटेज से आ रहे हैं, बड़े बड़े योद्धाओं के घर में अर्जुन का जन्म हुआ है, right? If he's a big warrior, for him just to say that okay, I don't want to fight is like a coward. लोग उनको कायर कहेंगे कि क्या तुम डर गए, लड़ाई नहीं किया आपने. So for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. तो ऐसे व्यक्ति के लिए अपना अपना खाली ये बचाकर, लाइफ बचाकर कोई मतलब नहीं है. For a respectable person, it is better to do his duty, even if he has to die, it's all right, rather than living with dishonor and infamy, and people will scorn you and people will say all ill names to you. तो उससे better है कि तुम इस battlefield में you give up your life. So Krishna is telling them this to Arjun, that you should fight, and this will save you from what? From the ill fame of misusing my friendship. लोग नहीं तो यही कहेंगे ना, कृष्ण का friend. कृष्ण, Arjun was the devotee of Lord Krishna, लेकिन क्या हुआ, उसके पास तो कोई हिम्मत नहीं थी लड़ाई करने की. अर्जुन जो है कृष्ण का भक्ति करके अपना ड्यूटी नहीं किया उसने. People will say like this, right, in future. So Krishna was saying that don't do that. Okay, people will just people will speak ill about you and also about me, about Krishna, because Arjun is a friend of Krishna. And from losing your prestige in society, and secondly, he will also lose his prestige in society. Nobody will respect him after that. अगर अर्जुन वहां से भाग चुके होते तो कोई उनको रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करता. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjun to die in the battle and not withdraw. So Krishna says it's better you die in the battle, it's okay, but don't run away from here. Yeah. So these verses are very nice. Even for us, how to live our life is so important. We learn so much from these verses. कि कितना जरूरी है. जैसे हम कभी-कभी while when we have too much stress, sometimes we think that okay, I just want to give up my life. We end up committing suicide. In material world also, we see people, because they're not able to handle their duties or problems or whatever, जो भी उनको करना है वो handle नहीं कर पाते हैं. So they just think that okay, I just want to give up my life. I don't want to live because I cannot handle this. Right? Or I want to just run away from this, run away from relationship, run away from family, run away from job, run away from exams. तो जैसे young students हैं, exam का stress है, तो they just don't, sometimes इतना stress हो जाता है कि उनको भागने की कोशिश करते हैं. But what do parents say? No, you give the exam. Even if you fail, it's okay. Even if you don't don't score good marks, it's okay, but you appear for the exam. So this is how we encourage people. This is how, because Krishna is also encouraging Arjun to do his duty, specific duty. Whatever is duty, you should do that. So yeah, reading Bhagavad Gita is so important for everyone. All right, any question from anyone? We'll stop here.
Yes, Mataji. No questions, Mataji. You explained it very well.
How about others? Any question?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Great. That's nice. So okay, so duties, regarding the Varnashram also, the point is clear to everyone.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Okay, so let's stop here then. We'll meet next class next week.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vanchakaiputarvasya kripasindhu eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo ananta kotivaishnavebhyo Srila Prabhupada.